Alrighty, so hello Gabriel or whoever else is gonna watch this. I decided to make a bit of an intro, or maybe a couple videos that are intro to Dark Souls. My controller looks too big a little bit. Get that a little smaller. I'm new to all this shit. I'm probably not even gonna do proper editing of all this. I don't know. I want more people to love this game, and it's not too bad, especially if you summon friends. That's like the original key. Anyway, this is the very beginning of the game. Right after you make a character, you made a character in there. That's in the starting area, and then spawn and so this video I just wanted to focus on like basic fighting mechanics, because I think that's the thing that like can lead to the most frustration to not know it. So the most important thing is not getting hit. See, the attack. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start over again. Number one, let's just say lock on. Really useful. Sometimes you won't do the lock on. Other times you want it. Most of the time I like the lock on. Obviously I can strafe around him and without using any abilities whatsoever. He hasn't hit me once. And makes it really easy to survive. The frustrating thing is people dying over and over again. It feels like they're not making any progress, so this will keep them from dying. Right now I only have an 85% critical lock shield, so dodging is better. But walk in. I take a little bit of damage, a little bit of stamina loss, but another option is to roll away. With that direction, I don't have to worry about the vulnerability frames. Go ahead and get that real quick. So that one was an invulnerability frame roll. In the middle of your roll, or like early middle of your roll, you have a period of time where you're completely invulnerable. Even if their hand passes through you, it's not going to do damage. So that's what I did just there. A better recommendation is just to like roll away. Then you have more time, more freedom. So creeping around an enemy is really strong. You want to be doing that all the time. Rolling when they attack is also really strong. He's getting like tired of fighting me. Backing up, repositioning, especially if there's multiple enemies. You might want to reposition. Obviously watching for their attack. So all this is like really important stuff. This will keep you alive, and really, because there's such a thing as a backstab in this game, scraping around an enemy with lock on, avoiding their attack and then hitting them in the back, very, very difficult. I one-shot him, and all I have is a dagger in one hand. So, with this guy. So the other option that's really straightforward, even if you're not strafing very well, you still want to lock on. Always lock on. It's really hard to I'm gonna have my back to him anytime I run away. I lock on, and then just say I'm like all this moving around is like more than I can handle. Rolling is too much for me. So I'm just gonna like take a hit on the shield, and then so that's another option. Sometimes with harder enemies, you have to shield hit. Let me do that on the next guy. And there's these little things that you'll look at to give you some information. That one's just telling me to run. I can run. Another important thing to take into account is the fact that depending on the enemy, your attacks might give them a little stun. And that's true with these guys. These guys don't have enough. Actually, no, he's not stunned. I think it'll take 2 hits back to back to actually give him a very short-term stun. Kind of stops whatever actions he's trying to do. Anyway, so I can block. I don't even have to be good. I can block. only thing about the block is that if you hold it up forever, like you do this, watch the stamina bar at the top. If I hold it up, my stamina doesn't come back very fast. I go, hold down, I go, hold down. So if I'm fighting somebody over a long period of time, okay, this one's a freebie for backstab. I just wanted to show you. Press your body up against him and then right bump. Anyway, if I can find somebody and block him again. If you're fighting somebody over a long period of time, oops, well, don't roll off. You'll probably fall off the side of things, and that's a easy, frustrating way to die. But this is perfect. I'm gonna block his arrows. So I'm gonna block and then attack. Say I have to block again. Oh, but yeah. So I'm fighting over a long period of time. I might want to let my shield down for a little while and then bring it back up. So now I've got 2 guys. So by the way, the right trigger will help me to switch between the 2 of them. Multiple enemies is actually, we're already on kind of an advanced thing. Oftentimes I'll try to destroy one enemy really quickly so I don't have to deal with multiple enemies. But anytime I attack, I'm putting myself in danger for both of the enemies activated. So let's wait for that shot, and then nice, I hit the board. So I immediately went back to blocking, so watch out for this guy. Now we're back to 1v1. So anyway, that's the basics of mechanics in this game. Oh yeah, you'll see the entire time, all I've done is just press right trigger. There are other attacks possible. I'm sorry, right bumper. The right trigger is your kind of strong attack. It only does a little bit more damage. This one is a thrust. So a little bit more damage, and it has a little bit more speed. Every different weapon has a different right bumper and right trigger. Yeah, I don't even really need to show it on enemies. There's a different response to pressing right bumper if you've recently rolled, if you have recently backstepped, which we haven't gone over because honestly, most of the time the backstep isn't going to do enough for you as far as dodging. But anyway, there's a different attack for that. Different attack if you... is it different for running? If you're running versus... Yeah. If you're running, different attack with right bumper. And then also there are same time things. So if I press forward and right bumper, that knocks away shields. So there's no shield that I've found in front of me, but I don't think it even does damage, but it might stun them even if they don't have a shield, which is a very short period of stun, and it knocks back shields. And then same thing for right trigger, so jump attack. So that's nice for like if you're wanting to keep your distance and then do a jump attack. That's another kind of easy way to play, along with the strafing and the shielding. So strafing and shielding. Hell, I could try to pull this guy away from the other one. Ooh. Alright, now what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, forward trigger. He's so close. It leaves me open. Oh shit. Oh, he's gonna come back. So I let go of my shield and put it back up. It might take some time to get used to it. But bigger enemies are gonna require that. So decent shield management and rolling. Later on you get 100% damage reduction shields, so that can be really, really nice. So I can just dodge his stuff, I can use the shield for his stuff. This guy's got a knife and a bow. Oh look, see he just did the knock away the shield thing. So that's one reason you can't just leave your shield up constantly. Let's see what it does. Let's see, I'm trying to get him to do it again. There we go. Knocked it away, I'm gotta watch out for that if you're just holding up shields. But like, look, he can try to do that again. Oh wait. Alright, well I backed up and I went around. But if I see that, I can also just roll. Again, if he attacks and I just backstep, it might, oh wow, it did miss, but it might still hit me anyway, if I don't time it perfectly. That's the thing, the shield requires very little time, well, other than watching for that, your timing doesn't have to be perfect. The rolling and the backstepping, there we go. I got hit when I backstepped because it wasn't the best. But instead of that, I can easily wait for an attack and roll. Alright, this is the master showing me. Okay. Also, another, like this is a little bit more advanced, but oftentimes rolling towards the attack can be helpful. I just took off my lock for a second. Help me. Then roll behind him, and then relock. Rock away. Yeah, it's kind of this in and out. He attacks, I'll attack. Attack. So that kind of in and out sort of fighting is really, really useful. Or block and then attack sort of fighting. Especially multiple enemies, you don't want to like go up and do a big jump attack, leave yourself open for a period of time, and then end up dying. But that being said, it's also possible that you could just it's possible that you could just destroy them before they have a chance to do anything. Is that the whole? Oh yeah, here's another one. So by the way, you can also two-hand your main weapon, and it usually does a little bit more damage this way. It has a whole different the right bumper, the right trigger. See that it's just a little different. So I can try. There's two people here. So try to just put this guy down, and then when the other one comes up, I can try to just let my shield down with the wrong guy. There we go. I just rolled behind. But I just walked behind him and back in the back. So the basic movement is kind of one of the more important things in the game. Holding B is a sprint on a ladder or anywhere. The press B again, you can roll. Oh yeah, this thing's going to tell you about plunging attack. So I have a weapon in my right hand, so I'm going to lock on, press forward, and plunge attack. Still take damage from the ball, but I get a nice attack off as well. Okay, so again, I'm fighting against two guys. I gotta be careful when I'm fighting against two guys, and watch out for maybe if I bait it back, and then I can. That's kind of basic strategy. Most of the enemies in the entire game you can kind of fight like this. Even bosses, a lot of times. I mean, you can't shield block as many of the bosses, but it's the same sort of idea. So those are the basic mechanics of the game. Oh, so some parts that you won't be using, obviously I talked about the backstep. The other thing that you will unlikely, or at least I don't recommend to use, is the parry. I amazingly did it right there, but it has a very specific timing, like quarter of a second timing, that if you don't hit it, you just get knocked in the face like that. So it's really good for PvP, but PvE, mostly if you're trying to be chilled. For the most part, like, I mean, you could try to master it, but if you've mastered parries, then you obviously don't need my help. The other thing about mastering parry is parry doesn't work on every enemy with every attack. So there's many enemies. The hardest enemies in the game, you can't parry them in the first place. So it's not really a way to go through the game. Going through the game, you can either really focus on the shield, or the rolling, or a little bit of both. Definitely want to be strafing either in one direction or another. Generally speaking, that's going to be your best bet for beating enemies. But I need to like this one to attack me. I think if I fall back enough, maybe yeah. So I heal them and I can just go at it. The dagger has a very fast attack, but a lot of enemies won't get staggered by it. AKA short stun. So pluses and minuses there. Heal with my masters. Alright, well anyway, that's kind of basic mechanics for Dark Souls. Really getting decent at that is kind of everything in the game. There's a lot of ways that playing two-player is going to make it super, like, tons easier. And I wanted to go over that in another video. That and selecting what kind of dude you want to start as. That's two videos that I have in mind. But But yeah, just, I mean, if you can't do damage, honestly, in 2-player, that's fine. As long as you can hold the shield up, roll around, avoid taking damage, that's gonna do really well for you. Not the way I want to go. One more thing to keep in mind that I didn't directly talk about is just running. Just basically running. There are a lot of areas where, you know, if you have like, so far we've only fought 2 people at a time, but if there's like 4 or 5 guys, you might want to reposition. Try to get far enough away that some of them turn around and go back to where they were. Here's a decent place for that, to talk about that. I don't know. Let's go through the it is kind of a mechanic. This is something I want to talk about later, right? It's accurate as well. And so, I gotta be very wary of where everything's coming from. There's another guy there, in a building right here, who's very good at he's good at knowing where you're going to be. So you have to change, in the time that the arrow's in the air, you have to change where you're likely to be. Here's another area where I can kind of show that off, the running away thing. So I really, with a dagger, even with my amount of play, I don't want to go against any basic guys. I'm going to be rolling and running, up my stamina. It's going to throw bombs at me too. But again, I can just kind of bait them around. I can bait them to the fact that I get close to the run. But you know, I have to be really careful watching a lot of people here. Again, all defenses, I don't know, if I wanted to go about trying to take these guys out one by one with a dagger, I don't know what I would do. A challenge that you're going to is trying to get through that fog door, and you're slow when you go through the fog door. So like, you get a lot of them all different areas of the fog door, and then try to run over there as fast as I can. And we bait some attacks, slow down, and again, I can't pick up these items, but I can go back later when I've been confident about not aggroing, and go back and try that again. So there's still tons of enemies. This is always an option. If you're trying to get to the next part of a map, you're tired of dying over and over again because you've tried to fight your way through and it hasn't worked out, you can just run. You can even run with your shield up against this guy. There's a ladder, and I wanna get up the ladder, so the same thing applies. It's I guess this isn't like mechanics of fighting as much as it's, I mean, learning how to run really well is actually incredibly useful, because you're just trying to get where you're going, you know? These guys are super around. Let's see if I can really knock it down. Alright, if I did 2 attacks there, I would have been knocked back down. Oh shit, they can go up ladders. I forgot about that. So let's see if I can get through this door before somebody hits me in the back. Alright, so then I made it to another bonfire. And that bonfire is a checkpoint. So running to the checkpoint is a really good way to go. And now this guy's the only one left. I can block his attack and go around behind him. Try to go around behind him without even rolling. He's doing a lot of damage. Oh, there we go. So that's a good place to end my mechanics video. Yeah. I'm gonna actually probably go straight into another video, but I'm gonna stop this recording right here.